Hello everyone, welcome to our venture Unwavered. My name is Rohan and alongside with me is my friend Shubham. And the reason why we have started this channel is to share our perspectives about things and life in general through our experiences and lessons. And as you would know in due course that the lessons and views in time has been strong and steady, and hence the name Unwavered. We are launching our first podcast series, Unwavered Pod, with our first episode on how to get over a breakup. Hope you enjoy.
Like to start this podcast series with our first episode on a topic that I am personally deeply involved, was deeply involved, I would like to say, and and my friend would have some great thoughts on it. And the topic we are currently going to touch is love and its side effects, repercussions, and all the things related to love, depression, or breakups, whatever we can do, and we have anything without any like any boundaries. So stay with us and have a great listen. Okay, so how do you define love? What do you say? What is love? What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word love, and how do you react to it?
Well, love, like, if I have to tell you from my perspective, I can tell you that love is basically meant to ease your life. But sometimes, as you initially told in the podcast, that you are dealing with some sorrows, right? So it also comes with love. And most importantly, what's important is to keep moving on.
That
And
is what by moving on you mean after breakup or during love when you are in love also, like what do you mean by moving on?
well, love does not mean that you are supposed to be in a relationship, but what I can tell you is you're lucky because you found love, right? There are many people who have not even got it. So, in that sense, in that regards, what I can tell you is you are lucky. I am lucky. And most of the people who have broken up or whatever sort of things have happened to them, they are lucky because they found it. And it is one of the bestest feeling that anyone can ever go through.
You said that love is a beautiful feeling, and whoever gets to experience it is, I guess, they are lucky because like most people say they are in love and they love someone, but they don't know the actual meaning. They just like our mind is so cultivated by the Bollywood and romanticization of love. Like some people Shah Rukh Khan doing his hand stuff and girls going crazy. So लड़कों में भी होता है वो कि मतलब प्यार मतलब ये होता है कोई लड़की अच्छी है देखने में तो प्यार हो गया उससे बट I don't think that's actually what is love. Love is for me like I have a very clarified version of love in my head, and that is like when you are ready to make sacrifice for anyone, like let it not be your partner, it shouldn't be just be your partner. That the love I'm talking about. It can be your mother, it can be your best friend, it can be anyone. But when you're especially talking about a partner, the sacrifices that you can make for her, like it can be little as much as little as just waking up early for to just to say good morning to her for going to her office, or just staying up late to just have that 10 minutes extra talk with her. That must sacrifice to the extent that you are going to leave her for her happiness. That much sacrifice if you are willing to make. And if you have done make, then it's a love for me. And not every love has to reach its end. Like they say, no, like not every story has a happy ending. So not every love story has an happy ending. That's in my view. So, like, I want to know that on a personal level,
Okay,
you can
okay,
touch or
you told me that there are some, it does not have to be a happy ending, right? Let's imagine it's not a happy ending. What's next?
yes, that's the most important thing because what I have experienced and what I have what I've learned from my experience is that when it's not an happy ending, we feel grudge about someone, that about our love, and we start to question our love for them, and we try to demean our love that we once used to like love so much that we love that person. So I think in that situation, you have to first accept the situation that you're going through. The most important thing in that scenario, when one person is going through, suppose, a breakup or something, or even like if in a love relationship it's a breakup, or if some with your friend or something, it's just a, like, friendship goes away. So in that situation, you have to accept it, that okay, this is the situation, that it is it, and I have to accept it. Once you accept it, then you have to let go of the person, let go of the feelings that you have currently for it, and accept it कि जितना भी था ठीक था, उतना मतलब उतने टाइम के लिए बेटर था, अब नहीं है वो सिचुएशन, तो आगे का पता नहीं, पीछे का जो हो गया, अभी प्रेजेंट मोमेंट में नहीं है, तो वी हैव टू एक्सेप्ट इट एंड we have to move forward with it. अब जब तक when person do not accept the situation that they are in, they will suffer, and they will continue to suffer as long as it is. They say no, that pain is permanent, but suffering is temporary. So it depends upon you कि आप how how you want to deal with it. So वो person to person, and that depends कि उसका intellect level, या फिर like, not intellect is not the right word, but how is he conditioned to deal with situation, like you will deal with this situation something differently to what I will deal with it, or someone will, like, किसी को ब्रेकअप के बाद पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट में जाना है, किसी को ब्रेकअप के बाद सैडनेस में चले जाते हैं वो काफी, जैसे हम लोग भी गए उस पे में, लाइक वी on our first breakup we were completely different. How I dealt with it was completely different to what I am dealing with it now. So as you grow and as you learn more things, I think पर्सपेक्टिव भी चेंज होता है, लव के लिए पर्सपेक्टिव भी चेंज होता है, आप जो आप सिचुएशन में हो उस सिचुएशन से आप कैसे डील कर रहे हो, एंड इट डिफर्स. लाइक आई वुड लाइक टू नो योर व्यूज, लाइक if someone is going through and he knows, like, किसी का भी गलती हो, let's not blame the person who is doing it, like we don't keep on, like suppose तुमने ब्रेकअप किया किसी के साथ, तो उस सिचुएशन में तुम क्या करते हो, और अगर तुम्हारे साथ अगर किसी ने धोखा किया, ब्रेकअप किया, तो उस सिचुएशन में what you go through and what you suggest that one should do according to your experiences.
Well, first of all, I must tell you that it is a very hard feeling, a very brutal kind of, like someone is stabbing your heart, or any part of your body. It is like that. And I have had quite a few experiences related to heartbreaks, where you were really loyal to the person, but the other person was not really loyal to you. It kinds of really fucks you up. And what I can tell you is कि सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट ये है कि रियलाइज करना कि तुम्हें बहुत सारे गलत इंसानों से जाना पड़ेगा एक सही इंसान तक पहुंचने के लिए, एंड दैट डज नॉट स्टॉप इवन व्हेन यू आर मैरिड. Like it can happen, you can marry 5 times. That is not important. But you have to. I have a very firm belief. I don't know whether you have this or not, but मेरा एक मानना है कि अंत में जाके सब कुछ सही ही हो जाता है. अब उसके लिए पहुंचने के लिए आपको 10, 15, 20, 25, 50 कितने भी रिलेशनशिप्स में आने पड़े. द होल प्रेरोगेटिव इज कि आपको प्यार चाहिए, किसे नहीं चाहिए, है ना. Everyone needs love. Everyone wants it. Those who don't get it, they don't understand. Like, mostly, I've seen so many people. Like, recently, I was watching a podcast, not a podcast, but I was watching a clip by Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate. And they told me a very important, I learned a very important thing, that no matter what, do not block that person, talk to that person. But don't show your emotions, even if you dearly want to show your emotions to that person, how much he or she meant to you. But show them that you are okay without them, and that is one of the most beautiful thing that you can ever show to her or him, whoever, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever the scenario is. And what I can tell you is कि बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो क्रिटिसाइज करते हैं एंड्रयू टेट को, ट्रिस्टन टेट को, दैट दे आर अ बिट ऑफ मिसोजिनिस्टिक टाइप ऑफ बीइंग्स. आई अंडरस्टैंड, बट 7 out of 10 things they say, it actually makes sense in the practical world, right? Do you follow
Like,
Tristan Tate or Andrew
yeah,
Tate?
yeah, I have listened a lot of indicators and all his speeches and all this, like not all of his speeches, but I have gone through most of his stuff. What I can tell that it depends upon the person who is listening to. So suppose you subscribe to that kind of beliefs and like 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 with most thing in the world, you have to filter out the good things and the bad things. So you have to make that judgment about everyone. So here also what Andrew Tate says about relationship girls, like you don't necessarily have to agree, but whatever the things he has gone through, you have to respect it. You have to respect the fact that the man has built his himself, and you have to respect it no matter what. Some people here, I say that I see that he says that he is just saying bullshit and all. So I don't. I like some of his talks. Like he was giving an example that women always like high class men, no
Of
matter
course.
like
Of
if you, no matter how much rich you are, if a more richer person comes in the room, they will
Yeah.
obviously like that person no matter
Yeah.
what. And
Well,
like so
yeah.
in that I agree to it, but yeah, most like some of his talks are like regarding depression, especially the thing that he has said about clinical depression. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it all, because what he said about depression, that he does not think it's a disease, but I don't agree with it. I think that what he's trying to say is okay, that you don't have to believe it, but he's trying to move the discussion towards a delusion thing, that he thinks it's a delusion, not an actual thing. So okay, this is,
Yeah.
we are just deviating from our main topic, that is love and endued, but
Well,
not endued,
exactly.
but
No, we are not deviating. Actually, when I ask you the question, what's next, it comes with that. And as you're telling me, it's just a delusion. There's a story which Andrew Tate was telling, and it was like there are two guys, they are in a house, and somebody told them that it's a haunted house. So the other guy went to one room, and so let's say, coming back to point, अगर जैसे एक बताया जा रहा है कि एक घर में एक भूत है या हॉन्टेड हाउस है, तो दूसरा इंसान, जो पहला इंसान है, उसे लग रहा है कि भूत है, रात में कुछ आवाज होता है और वो घबरा जाता है, एंग्जाइटी होती है उसे, पैनिक्स होते हैं. दूसरा इंसान है, ओके, सोचता है ओके इट वाज विंड, द क्रैकिंग ऑफ द डोर, इट वाज विंड एंड ही वेंट टू स्लीप अगेन. सो बोथ ऑफ देम are right in their way, but it's just a matter of delusion which is going through our mind. And
no,
masculinity, I'm not talking
no,
about.
no. But do you think that depression is not a real thing, and it's just a made up thing in our mind, or is it's a clinical thing and it requires clinical supervision? Do you agree with it?
Look, I have
Because
not.
he
Yeah.
because what the example he said, that he was in, like he felt that he was in depressive state, and he still went on to fight in some Kazakhstan and won the fight. But he said that if I was just a depressed man and I stayed in my home, I wouldn't have won that fight and I wouldn't have become richer. But that's okay, that's his mindset that he has gone through. Not everyone person like can control his mind according to that. He has the way he dealt with it, it's a way to deal depression only, but he's not calling that thing a depression, rather than saying that okay, I did not feel it. That's what I am getting, like उसने वो फील किया, उसको जैसे अगर आप कोई थेरेपिस्ट से भी मिलो तो वो क्या बोलते हैं, the gist of the point that they say, that you have to focus on yourself and you have to deviate your mind towards better thing. And that's what he did actually. He went to fight to fucking some loser in Kazakhstan and won some fucking dollars and made money. While he was, according to him, he was in depression. तो उसने भी वही काम किया ना, उसने भी जो थेरेपिस्ट का जो एक्चुअल जो मतलब एडवाइस होता है, उसने भी वही मान किया, लेकिन वो ये नहीं मानता कि वो डिप्रेशन कुछ होता है, ऐसा ऐसा वो मानना नहीं चाहता. लाइक ही सेज I know it's a thing, but I don't want to believe in it, because if I believe in it, my mind will believe in it and I will be in that state. तो ये वाला थॉट बोलने को ठीक है, बट like I don't think it's just a thing that you can easily say to millions of people that you follow, and they will like, ठीक है, हर्ड मेंटेलिटी होता है, सब कोई फॉलो करेगा उसको, सब कोई मानेगा, डिप्रेशन नहीं होता, बट इट्स अ मेंटल डिजीज अकॉर्डिंग टू मी. दैट्स व्हाट आई फील कि डिजीज है, बट हाँ, डिपेंड करता है उसका स्टेजेस पे, उसके लेवल्स पे, और आप कैसे उसको डील करते हो. वो आप थेरेपिस्ट से भी कर सकते हो, खुद पे भी. ऐसे जरूरी नहीं है सबको थेरेपिस्ट मिलता है. लोग, कितने सारे लोग खुद से बिल्डअप करते हैं, अपना कुछ करते हैं, फिर वो उस स्टेट से बाहर आ जाते हैं. तो इट्स नॉट अ कैंसरस थिंग दैट एवरीवन हैज टू गो टू अ डॉक्टर, आई थिंक. बट it exists according to me. What is your view according to about that?
Look, very rightly said, whatever you said. And look, there was a phase in my life where I was thinking that I'm depressed. And it was a pretty long phase, like 3, 4 years. And I have never been given any clinical prescription that I am depressed or something. But as I grow up, and right now, the state I'm in, I believe, and I'm not saying that for women, I'm saying that for men, because I understand, because
Men.
we are men, right? So,
We understand men more than women, like this.
yeah. So, a man should never act out of his feelings, and depression is a feeling. As you were giving the example of Andrew Tate, went to Kazakhstan and he fucks up some guy. It's just a belief, it's just a feeling. And I know it's harsh, it's brutal in some
No,
sense.
no.
People are throwing away their life, which means it is serious. And our school never taught us about it. So, what I can tell you is कि एज अ मैन हमें कभी भी ये फील नहीं करना चाहिए. हमें वही चीज मानना चाहिए जो हमारे फेवर में है. वो गलत भी है, फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, लेकिन हमें जो हमारे फेवर में है. आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट सम अनएथिकल मीन्स कि अगर आपको लग रहा है आपको किसी को मर्डर करना है आप जाके कर दो बिकॉज इट मेक्स यू फील रियली गुड. व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू टेल इज कि जो हमारे फेवर में एंड द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज जो ह्यूमैनिटी के फेवर में, बिकॉज वी ऑल हैव अ रोल टू प्ले. चले जाएंगे हम लोग यहाँ पे 50, 60, 70 साल, नो बडी नोज दैट. बट वो 70 साल अगर तुम सिर्फ इसी स्टेट में रहोगे कि हाँ हमारे पास ये है, हम ये फील कर रहे थे, उसी में हमारा 10, 15, 20, 25 साल निकल गया, तो बाद में जाके आपको बहुत रिग्रेट्स होगा. एंड रिग्रेट्स आर रियली किलर्स. Death is not the actual killer. Regret is the actual killer.
Yeah,
And I can vouch on that because I have felt that. We have been together for the past 7, 8, 9 years. You have seen me
I can
grown
know.
up. I have seen you grown up. We all have our
This,
ups and downs. What I can tell you is, कि yeah, depression is a real thing. It's a disease, but it's not an incurable one. You can cure it
of
by
course,
taking
of
therapy
course.
or by giving yourself a therapy or by, like, Jordan Peterson once said, the greatest clinical psychologist I have ever come across. He said, whenever a depressed person comes to me and he said that I'm depressed, he often asks just one question: Are you seriously depressed, or are you having a terrible lifestyle? And 9 out of 10 times they say, I have a terrible lifestyle. So if you take care of your lifestyle, you can easily get out of it.
Yeah, I think the most like differentiating thing here is that most people think if they are sad, they are depressed. Like they don't know the distinction between actual depression and sadness.
Exactly. Yeah.
And or like resentment or regret, whatever. So they call that it as depression. But yeah, that one person cannot differentiate that if they are in depression or not. That's a totally different thing because it's a mind thing and chemical fucks up our mind like anything. You know that because everything is related to chemical reaction in our mind and like you said, like if you change your lifestyle, you change your mind and you change your life. Why it happens? What is the meaning of it? By changing a lifestyle, you're basically changing the way your mind is training, the way your mind is reacting to certain chemicals, and the way you are behaving. And the once you change it, your brain will change, mind will change, and your brain will change, and everything will come on its own. So yeah, that's perfectly fine thing that you have said, according to me, and I believe
And
it too. But
I would like to add one thing that Jordan Peterson, he also once said that you can change your brain dynamics by putting yourself in a new situation every time. And it's a proven fact, it's a science proven fact that whenever you put yourself in a new situation, like let's say you had a you had a bad time, right? These months.
yes,
2023, beginning of 2023, you recently had a breakup. Uh,
yes,
so what have you done? Like I think 1 month back you were here and I saw a different Shubham, right? And after a month we are doing this thing, right?
yes,
So
yes.
you must be feeling better because you have put yourself in a new situation. I've seen you YouTube shorts which you are giving, which you are recording and posting. There are some views also. Does that make you feel good? Does that, like, in terms of depression or in any sense?
Yeah. So what I was not even month ago, but I was having a very bad lifestyle, you can say. Before the breakup also, for like 2 3 years, I think I was like slowly it graduated from having a career goal to having nothing and just being alive. And like I was alive with her, but when she left, I was not feeling alive because my whole thing was centered around one person, and that is a very poisonous thing to do. So when I had a shock of my life, so I realized that what I felt in last 1 month and what you see me now and how I was. So I would just like to give a brief background that it's not something that I'm feeling right now, what I am changed, but it is the change that was required. I think, like I said once, that maybe it's the destiny's last chance to give me to change myself because it has been so long that I have been that way. So in order to change myself, I had this had to happen. That's what I would like to think. I know it's just like it's a vague thought that you're giving your breakup and the most beautiful feeling in the world, a thing that you have acquired it to change yourself, but I did not choose that. I did not choose the option to break up. Something had happened and someone else did it for me. So whatever happened, I accepted it. And I tried to accept it as early as I could because I knew from my past experience that if I don't accept it and if I don't accept the thing that is happening with me, so I will be suffering and I will be suffering more. Suffering will be there always. Like even if right now if I am suffering, that's okay, but I will suffer in more disastrous way if I could not accept the situation that I was in. It took a time, obviously, like with most person, every person takes its own time. But I think whatever happened, I took the control of the situation as early as I could, and that was the proactive mind of mine that knew that it can go worse because it had seen the worst. So I know the worst thing that I could do, and at that situation I could not do it because I said like it's a very stupid thing to say that once you are having suicidal feelings and like what I feel it's very stupid, but that's my feeling that uh, to end the pain is a very courageous thing, but to be in that thing is it's more courageous. But if you are ending the pain, I would not blame anyone who is ending his pain by ending his life. But I know life is a gift and you should endure it and all whatever those kind of thoughts that they are there. But once you are in a pain and once you don't see any way out, I think to end it, it takes a lot to end it. And no, not every person has that person has it in him. And I did not have it in me. If I had that day, I would have done that no matter what, no matter no question asked. I would have done that day straight away. But I did not do it. And once I did not do it, then I had no option but to change myself. And for that, I had to take whatever I had to do to change myself to in order to just live and in order to just feel. Because still I'm not like what I've been like. I should not disclose my like conversations with the therapist because it's not legal way and it's not ethical either. But what I can say is that in our first meeting, I told her that I do not feel alive. Like I do not feel for anyone in this world. I do not feel for anything in this world. I do not want anything in this world. So why I'm just breathing and I can't even breathe right now because I'm having panic attacks and every second I'm having panic attacks and I cannot sleep. Like if I sleep, I see her. If I wake up, I see her. So I am not even able to sleep. I am not even able to breathe, eat anything. So in order to survive, please help me. That's why I have come to. I have not come here for advices right now. I have just come here to allow me to survive because I cannot take my life. So this is the only way. That's why I went. So once that situation was eased out, once I was able to breathe and my breathing was in my control slowly and slowly, and then gradually those feeling and with lots of like like we used to read. I left that reading thing. I was a avid reader before, but I left it like my lifestyle once was one for a toss. I left everything, but you had continued reading. So it's a very good thing. So once I started again back reading, going through more and more podcasts. Podcasts I was listening obviously before also, but uh, I went more in the brain side and how mind works. And once I realized that it's all just the mind makeup and the chemical reaction that happens and how you deal with it, then you can change everything. Like they say, like once you have the control of the chemicals in your mind, you can change anything, any situation. And there's also one thing that I would like to say that. Like you can question what is happening to you can question the person who is doing to you, but you can also say that okay you are doing to it, it's a shock for me, it's a like एक एक क्वेश्चन और एक आश्चर्य का एक डिफरेंस होता है. लाइक अगर आप किसी से प्रश्न पूछ रहे हो तो आप उसमें कुछ ढूंढ रहे हो, कुछ आंसर ढूंढ रहे हो, कुछ वजह ढूंढ रहे हो या कुछ भी ढूंढ रहे हो, रीजनिंग ढूंढ रहे हो, बट अगर आप उस चीज को एक आश्चर्य की तरह लो कि ठीक है मेरे साथ हो गया ये, अब क्या कर सकते हैं, like it has happened, I cannot change it, right? So I took it that way, that okay, it's not on me at least, so it's okay for me to deal with. And once I went through that, I started like most of the things you have already also, like once I told you first, like you said that okay change your lifestyle, I know that that time I got it, but that thing to change your lifestyle is a very big thing, because to change lifestyle you have to
Yeah,
change,
right.
you have to change everything. And once you, and it's a like the most important and the most worrying thing that every person goes through who is willing to change. Okay, I'm not saying that who is not even willing to change, like who is willing to change, who is trying to change but is not able to, is the continuity. Okay, and continuity is very important in life. Like even the smallest thing you do every day, like Virat Kohli, like you admire Virat Kohli, right? What does he say? What does he say that he makes, like anyone who has asked him what makes you great, so the answer he
Do
always gives,
commitment.
yeah, the answer he gives every time, like I do the boring stuff each day and each day of the week, every day, every year. That's what makes him perfect. I'm not like not going to the perfectness, but that's what's making what he is. So we are not at that level, but what in our level we can at least try to repeat the things, maybe 50 things. Like suppose you have planned 100 things to do, like what I did, but I'm not following 100 things every day, but I'm trying to follow 80 to 90% of the things that I have started 1 month back. So I'm continuing on this journey, and what, and you asked me how you're feeling now and how what you felt 1 month back ago. So I can say that it's a whole lot of difference. It's a difference because your mind is occupied and you're working and you are meeting new people, you're having new experiences. But the thing with breakups, the thing with the mind and the shock is that I have read that it's a it's a carrot and dangle situation. Which means that once something happens to you, like suppose the first breakup happened to you, the first heartbreak, the first shocking thing happened to you, or the most saddest thing happened to you. The second time when it happens, it hurts more and it has more deeper impact, because once you have felt it once and it has happened twice. So your mind automatically triggers those stimulations in your mind, and those chemicals reacts and you feel much more worse than your first thing. But once you tell your mind it's okay, I have dealt with it and I can deal with it now, then slowly try to reduce those chemicals and it try to control your that side of the brain, and slowly it works on the PSC side of them. I'm going very technical, but that's what I'm saying, that once you control your mind and once you control your lifestyle, that you have said, you can control most of the things. And still the last answer that I'm going to say, that okay, it hurts still, okay, it does not have the same impact, but yeah, the void is there and that will take a time, maybe a month or two, a year or two, a decade, I don't know how much it will time. One day suddenly one will realize that okay, I had that with my own, that okay, it does not have that thing, it does not have the same impact, but it's still there because it's an ongoing process and it's an ongoing phase that I'm going. So that's my story, and that's my, not a story, that's what I'm going through, and that's what I have. I choose the way to deal with it. And I would
And I
like to
suppose it is the right way. I suppose it is the right way to go because when I called you and you told me that yeah, you are having some really, you are having a distressed life. So I told you lifestyle about lifestyle. I understood that. Even if I give you countless lectures, it is not going to help you because I once read somewhere it was written like a person does not care. Let's say कि अगर earthquake आता है और आप कहीं पे फंसे हुए हो तो न्यूज में क्या दिखा रहा है या क्या कोई भी बोल रहा है कि अच्छा इतने मैग्नीट्यूड का earthquake है, आपको फर्क नहीं पड़ता भले 10 का भी हो 9 का भी हो, आप उस मोमेंट पे हो, आपको फर्क नहीं पड़ता मैग्नीट्यूड क्या है. Like it was your case, you were in the midst of a storm and you chose the right way. I guess you have not completely recovered from that, and it will take some time. But what I can tell you is कि it is the right way to go. And I'm not a psychologist or something, but I would like to believe that this is the right way to go because the show must go on. Does not really matter. Like Joe Rogan once said, कि initially it did not. It used to make sense, but after a while, it was kind of boring. So, and he said that ki imagine you are the main character in a movie. Everyone's eyes is on you, right? And you have to dealt with all the shortcomings, all the obstacles. I don't like that word obstacle, but let's say obstacles and all. And at the end, everything is fine, right? So you have to believe like that. And most importantly, the number one priority should, again, I'm telling that कि men के life में सबसे बड़ा जो होता है वो a man should always be aligned towards future. I can't speak for women. I don't understand how their mind works. Maybe I understood that, which is why I don't want to talk about women. But a man should always be aligned to future. And in order to get aligned to your future, you got to take some right steps. And whether steps are right or wrong, you will eventually realize. But in order to realize that, you got to get some you have to do some tough homeworks. So I suppose it is the right way. And most of the people, as you were telling, that most of the people are courageous enough to give up their life. I don't know what is whether they are courageous or they are just escaping. But just imagine, uh, a month back you were having suicidal thoughts. Now you are doing this. It means that if you bear that feeling for a week or 2 week, because life is not the duration of life is not just week or 2 week. It is if you're fortunate enough, you will go up to 80 or 90 or 100. But in order to be there, take some, you gotta take some shots on your face. And it is going to work for you that way, right?
Yeah, I agree with it. No, I meant in that decision taking part, not the part that people
Yeah.
go through. I'm not trying to demean anyone that who is going through a rough patch and is
Correct.
but that's the beauty, like if you have went through and you recover, you see, okay, I have achieved it. But that's the whole process of it, I think, I guess. So yeah, like you have to start low and you have to rise high. That's the nature. So
Exactly. Small steps.
yeah.
There's a very beautiful saying that if you really want to be somewhere, go take smaller steps. It is very, but we are so anxious about making it big, and हमें इतनी जल्दी करना होता है सब कुछ, and वहीं पे हम चौदाप कर देते हैं. That is one of the मतलब शॉर्ट कमिंग ही कह सकते हैं ये हमारे इंसानी दिमाग में, और हमें कोई ट्रेनिंग नहीं दी गई है. नाउ कमिंग बैक टू पॉइंट, we talked about love, the repercussions. Now tell me, what is your plan for you for this year?
Okay, I'm not going to deeper details like what are the plans, but I
You
can
cut
tell
you off.
you.
You were telling that when you went to the therapist, he told, I just want to survive. I don't need your fucking advices, right?
Yes, I told her
So
that.
is your survival period gone? Are you
Yeah, yeah,
up
yeah,
for
yeah. So
so tell me.
obviously, the thing to survive has become much better because I have occupied my mind with better things and with more things. So what I've planned and what I am going through is what I have planned is For the first time in my life, I am doing like a transformation thing, like in my inner transformation, not just the physical transformation part of thing. So for this, no, I'm not saying it's related to it will complete in a year or two or thing. I think what I need to change is how I look at the things in of the world and how I behave according to it. And once I do it, I will obviously do everything that is required in my life to achieve everything. So that's the thing. That's the holistic view of the thing. But practical view of things, if you ask me, what I'm willing and what I'm willing to aspire this year, if you want to ask me, then obviously, in part of career, I was fortunate enough to land a good job, but I was not interested, and I was not interested in career for like last 1 or 2 years, I think. So right now, I'm very much focused on my job, but I'm getting like not to brag about myself, but I'm getting very much appreciation every week, which is very hard to get appreciation every week for anyone. Like no one gets in a month or two, but I'm getting for every week for something that I do. That shows key I have dedicated time and efforts towards it, and I work for it. So that is one part. Second part is that on career part also I have some goals that I have to achieve by August of this year. So I'm trying to achieve those things by this August. And in part of apart from career, if you ask me, on a characteristic level, on a physical level, I want to change myself, obviously. And for that, I'm working out, and of course, working out without having proper diet and nutrition does not going to work. So I'm in order to change the everything of the physical part of thing, I have to change my diet also. So I'm working on my diet also. And regarding the mental, I am actually giving a lot more importance to mental health right now, and how I look at things and how I behave to things. So lots of book reading, lots of podcasts, lots of meditation, and not just normal meditation, deep meditation, and diaphragm meditation, and different kind of things that I'm doing. So those are the things I'm doing on mental part of things. Apart from that, obviously I want to socialize a lot more, that I was that like I am not socialized a bit even in the last 5 4 5 years, I think. So only few persons I have met. So but in this, I can tell you one thing, that in this month I have met more people, and I have hang out with more people in last 1 2 weeks than I have done in last 5 years. That's the change I have done to myself. And it's not a change that I'm desperate to meet someone. It is happening on our own, and it is happening because I am changing the way how I am behaving with situations. So once I am changing the way I am behaving with situations and how it comes, it is automatically happening, and it will keep happening because it's a part of change that I want to inculcate in myself. And I want to be that kind of I want to have that kind of aura, because see, once I chose to survive, so I did not I don't have any option left. I have to survive now, because I chose to survive that day. And I once I chose to survive that day, so I have taken every step in order to make me feel alive. I'm not still like, if you ask me, like when the last session I had with therapist a few days back, I told her that in our first meeting I told you that I don't feel for anyone, and today also I am telling you that I'm not able to feel for anyone. Even I meet a lot of people, but I'm not able to feel. But in part of things, in part to aspire something, yes, that has come, that I want to achieve something. That is a part of thing that was missing. But in terms of interpersonal relationship, the work is still in progress, because on a mental level it has affected a lot. And to feel for someone, to generate those kind of emotion, because you know me, and like I know you a lot too, but uh, I think you have been through this phase, I think, or maybe you're in that phase, or you feel that way, that you don't give a fuck about anyone, like even your family, your mother, or anyone you die, and like you just don't care, because you are in that state that you don't care for anyone, be it anyone. Let's just call us selfish, but it's not a selfish thing. It's just a state of mind that I'm right now. And no one knows that it's correct or wrong. Like obviously it sounds wrong that you don't feel for anyone, that like there are so many lovely people around you and they care for you so much, and
It is
they,
supposed to sound. It is supposed to
yeah,
sound wrong.
yeah, it is, and maybe it is wrong, we
It
don't
is
know.
not actually wrong, but
Yeah,
it is supposed to sound. Yeah.
I'm not saying that it is right or wrong. We are not. I'm not able to judge right now. maybe after some years I will be able to judge myself what I'm feeling right now. When I have a healthy and like happy married life, then maybe suppose so that day maybe I will able to judge what I feel right now. But right now, what I've told her that I'm still able not to feel anything for anyone. So, and even if I feel it is just momentarily, like for some moments I feel. So she said it's okay. It's part of the journey, and you have to go through it, and you will be able to do it. So I'm not focusing on that part. Like it's okay. It will come if it has to come, or if I have to be this way, it's okay. It's my way of living, and I don't judge myself. If I don't judge the other person right now, like I am not judgmental at all for anyone for anything that they do, and like even if they are like suppose murdering someone, I can understand the emotions behind it. I'm not condoning it, I'm not supporting it, but I'm not
Yeah.
judging why they are doing it. Okay. So I'm that kind of level in terms of judgmental things. So if I'm able to forgive someone, and if I'm able to not able to be judgmental over someone, so I have to be kind to myself as well. If I am feeling this way, it's okay to feel this way, I think. So what I can say to other people, be kind to yourself first, be kind to your mind first, then to others, because we forget ourselves in our journey to be with someone or to achieve someone something or anything. We forget that it is us, it is our mind, and it is our self that is the most important thing in the world. And we are not kind to ourselves. Like we have been so harsh to ourselves for every situation. We have been very harsh to forgive ourselves for a small mistake. Like suppose a person has not achieved a career goal or a fucking exam, and he tries to beat himself. What is the use of that exam if you're not happy? If you're not happy after giving, okay, you have failed it, I got it, but you failed because you did not study. It's a simple 2 plus 2 situation. It's not about you as a person and you as a self. You have much more meaning in the life than to fucking cry about a fucking exam or fucking, like it can go to anything. Like in love also, if you go into a deeper level, it's the same thing. Like it's okay, it does not work out, but you don't have to beat yourself for not being with that person. If you have not done anything wrong, that it is on you and you're feeling the guilt. Even if you're feeling the guilt, it's okay if you have done that. That's what I have learned, that it's okay to forgive, and it's very much important to forgive everything and everyone for the things they do and for the things you do. Because once you don't forgive, you will keep dragging on it, and you will keep carrying the weight of it for your life, and it will fuck your mind so much. Because once you if you see
Yeah,
like
exactly.
like
And
if
adding to
you
that point, sorry
just
to
just
cut you off.
just one line, like I'd like to say that if you check my WhatsApp status also, like correct, it is that when you forgive someone, it is ourself that we are freeing. We are the slaves of our mind, and when you forgive someone, we are actually freeing ourselves only. That's the thing I have learned. Like once you forgive someone, you are actually freeing yourself only. Yeah, sorry, you are continuing and
Yeah, you have written, when we forgive, the slave we free is ourselves, ironically.
yes,
That's very true. Very true. And in order to come to that realization, what I can tell you, you gotta go through that.
yes,
And the most important thing is, let's say somebody is in your situation. You're the therapist. Give him a therapy in 2 lines.
take a deep breath, give it a time, and you re-evaluate after 1 day or 2 days if you're right now feeling like that. Just take a deep breath, and it will be better than what it is right now. That I can tell you from my personal thing, that you will feel a little better, if not more better than what you're feeling right now. And it happens to everyone. And yes, we feel that we are different. Obviously, everyone feels they are different because it's their ego and their mind. But it happens and shit happens, okay? And I know you have been wrong. I know you don't deserve it. No one deserves it that you're going through it, and no one should go through it. But it is the law of the nature, and it is happening, and it's okay. Just give it some time. It will be okay. It will be better, no, if not okay. It will never be okay, obviously. because you want something and you have not got it. And once you don't get it, you don't get the satisfaction in your mind, and it will never be okay for that thing. But it will be at least better to deal. That's what I'm saying. What you would give
And
advice to someone who is uh, having to go through this?
look, I have had some experiences. You know that. I
Yes.
know that. And I also used to have some suicidal thoughts. You know, you know that. And I became very angry, a very agitated person who used to get annoyed and want to fuck people for little mistake. Now, I think the number one cure which I have given myself is that this season when I decided that I am going to read books, right? And after I read books, most of the self-help books are rubbish, but some books are really good. And I realized we change in a negative way what is considered as negative, quote unquote, in the eyes of society. But we change because we are not able to forgive ourselves. It's not because we are angry. Because I'm telling you, I'm taking that anger perspective because it happened to me. I don't know what happens to other people. Like, you know me, like even in my family, if you forgive yourself first, you will become, you will have an attitude of benevolence. You will be kind to society. And most importantly, there will be an attitude of perspicaciousness. And you did use this word very, very often. And I did not know the meaning of it. But when I search about it and I watch related videos, like what is clarity? Perspicaciousness means being insightful, being able to see things clearly. Like having a clarity is important. Let's say I was telling about perspicaciousness. So if you have clarity, you will get through it. And I have always been career oriented, although it did not favor me as much as I wanted it to be. But I kind of realized everything is not going to happen according to me. Everything is one sided. Like even love, hate, whatever, chasing something. What's there in your hand, as Virat Kohli said, the only thing which is in your hand is the process. Focus on the process, care about the result, but don't take it to your heart if it doesn't turn out the way you want it to be. So that is the thing.
Exactly. Like you said, everything is uh, single. What is it? One way, right? So that
Yeah.
is a very deep thought. That I don't know even you know it about it or not. I have said to you that what I've read that and what I've understood as well that uh, see what we have in our mind is a virtual image. We say that we live in real world. This is real world, and what we think in our mind is a virtual thing, but actually it's a reverse. We live in a virtual world, and what we think inside our mind is the real thing actually. So if,
Yeah.
even the image
Very.
of myself that you're seeing right now and you're having a thought in your mind is a makeup of your mind that you have of me, that you think of me, that I am this kind of person, I have this much values, I have this much characteristic, I behave this way, I feel this way, I talk this way. This is all just the brain, the chemicals in the inside our mind that is allowing us to like have a pattern inside our mind about everything. And the pattern thing, like the pattern inside our mind repeats. So everything that we do, everything we talk, everything we behave is a pattern. And in order to change, we have to break the pattern. And in order to break the pattern, you have to change the mind. So like everything just goes to the mind, as you say. Like if you control your mind, you can control everything, I guess. So
Yeah.
that's a lifelong process. That's not like even like the greatest of all, like Steve Jobs was not able to control his mind. He was in delusion, but he achieved so much because of his delusion. And he
Yeah.
respected his mind. That's why he understood he understood this thing to control mind very much long ago before he became Steve Jobs. Before, like when he came to India and all. So guess those people who have control over their mind, some kind of control, or at least some kind of understanding, they will go a long way in the life, I think, than most of the people that like just having a herd mentality and just going through it and just going through day-to-day struggles. Like it's okay. Like I can understand that you have a day job, but it's not necessary that you have to. Like I'm not saying you have to be a fucking millionaire to be happy. The life,
Yeah.
the life end goal and life only goal is to be happy because we have to survive there, and we can only survive if we are happy. Like if, else you will live obviously, but you will be in sadness most of the time. And
Well,
of
I would
course,
not. Well, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. You should never seek happiness. This is what I believe.
okay, but okay, we can have difference of opinion. But what I'm saying that like, for why do you want to achieve something? You want to achieve for the gratification you achieve after achieving it, and the satisfaction you get it after. Like, why do you want to become something? So tell me, why do you want to become something? Like, suppose anything. Suppose you want to become billionaire. Why do you want to become billionaire in this life currently?
Because there's a thought where I see, there's a imagination in my mind where I see myself, okay, given your situation like a billionaire or something, because I had a thought, let's say I want to be a billionaire and I seriously want to be a billionaire. Even if I become a billionaire, would I be happy? Happiness, if you ask me, and I don't know whether you are going to accept this or not, happiness to me is only when I am 95 years old, surrounded by my kids or grandkids or great grandkids, and I am about to die. That is happiness for me. Happiness is not a destination for me. I'm not saying it's just a thing. And like let's say मेरे को यहाँ पे जाके चाय पीना है तो मैं जा रहा हूँ, मैं खुश होने के लिए नहीं जा रहा हूँ, मेरा मन हुआ मैं जा रहा हूँ. इन द वेरी सेम वे अगर मेरा मन है, इफ आई सीरियसली वांट टू डू इट, आई वांट टू डू इट.
And if you don't
आई
do
हैव
it,
केप्ट इट वेरी सिंपल.
okay. If you don't do it, what do you feel? Small example, you want to buy a fucking laptop
Yeah.
and you really want it. Like you really want that right now.
Look, that
And
will make me sad. I got your point. That will make me sad, but the opposite is not true for me.
I got it because the happiness lasts, because that's the thing with the happiness, it lasts very small for a very small fucking time that you feel happy for something and anything, and then you just go in, because that's the thing with it that I said that I was trying to say that it does not last, it's not a continuous process. That's why we have to indulge in more activities, more things to keep our mind occupied to go there. As you say, final destination is happiness that you reach at that point when you die, because our, like, everyone who has come has to die, and the end point is dying only. But in order to make that journey easier, I think, like, if you try to become, like, if you force yourself to be happy, like, it's not a bad way of living. That's what I'm saying, that in opposite to what most people do, that they just go through the motion. If you try, if you make conscious effort to be happy, to make other people happy, it's a nice way of living. That's what I think, that rather than just being a normal guy, you just try to be more, like, I think, more happy go guy. It's much better than being the other way, but it's depend on person to person how they want to deal their life, I guess.
Look, what I can tell is whatever you added, it is really helpful for people who are actually finding the meaning of life. But if not, if you're not seeking happiness, try not to seek unhappiness also.
That's a
That is
fucking addiction. That's a fucking addiction, man. Like if someone says that alcohol and weed is an addiction, no, 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 no. Depression and being, and the urge to feel depressed, and the urge to feel sad, and the
yeah.
urge to feel be in sadness, and to enjoy that sadness through fucking songs and through fucking pictures and videos of your past and everything, and like anything, like your regrets. It's a fucking addiction, and many people are in that addiction and they don't know it, and they go through it every day, every fucking day of their life, and they go through it. So it's a fucking addiction, I guess, as well. Like sadness, as you said, that it's better to not be in sadness than be in that way. And I guess, like, most people, like, even I was like, for a brief period of time, even like 2 months ago, I was feeling that I was enjoying that phase sadness also. Like, I know that is very poisonous, and I got reverted to it back to myself. but I have enjoyed that phase also. Like you have enjoyed that phase also, like that kind of phase that once you listen to a song and you enjoy and you
Yeah.
think of the memories, because songs relates to memories, because in mind we think so, memories go back to
But the
that, and
bottom line
you
is it can really fuck you up because I
it
know a
is
lot of people.
it
I
fucks
know a
up.
lot of
Yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah. It fucks because it makes you live in a world which does not exist, which is, well, like, yeah, like in the practical sense of thing, it does not exist, and you refuse to believe that, and you rather willing to accept it. You go to that world and enjoy that feeling, and obviously the most important thing that people do in sadness is victimization. Like, why me? Okay. The question
Yeah.
everyone asks, why
Yeah,
fucking
it's a
me?
pussy move.
Why not the other person? Why everything bad is happening to me? Like, I used to ask myself some day back, like some months back, like, why me? Like, why is happening? Why is everything happening to me? But I guess my level of difficulty is not a fucking same difficulty that a person in Syria is having. Like, they're having their homes getting bomb blasted. I know that we should not compare our situation, our mental health with anything, but level of things we have to categorize in order to not have it effects on our mind. You get it? Like, like the question to ask ourselves every fucking time when something happens to us, like, why me? Rather than ask why not, and why not, like, endure it, like you said. I don't agree with most of it, but the thing he said that I can do 1,000 push-ups when I think about what happened to me and what the that negative energy has pushed me to do it, and that is a beautiful way of trans. That is just energy transformation. He's saying that the sadness into the motivation, and motivation into a career goals. That's what actually is transformation is actually, like, when, like, what we are going through is actually a fucking transformation only. We are transforming that inertia, that energy we had, and we are transforming into building ourselves, that we will talk in our next episodes as well, that how to do it. And like, we are not fucking expert or professional, but we can share what we go through, and we can share what we are going through and what we have learned. So yeah, so I guess we can wrap this first podcast our series, and we will meet you in the next episode with a fresh fucking new topic and new perspective on everything related to life, love, desire, goal, career, everything. This is us signing off on our first episode, Unwavered.